Hey guys, so coming back on, I really enjoyed doing the UV resin here last week, or the last 2 episodes I should say. So I wanted to come back and do a little bit more, a couple more earrings and do a little bit more experimenting per se with some of the UV resin. So just decided we'll just kind of keep rolling. Even though that was a 2-part series, this will probably be another 2-parter just with the way it works with timing on them. I didn't bring up my ice. Totally kind of forgot about it, to be honest with you, but I do have, because, you know, ADHD, out of sight, out of mind, for me is like a real thing. So it's one of those things that I'm like, oh yeah, because the ice machine isn't upstairs, which why would it be, that I tend to forget. All right, so I have some ice water though that I'm drinking out of. I'm just gonna pour that into a separate cup, but then I can dunk some of these in, is what I figure. That will work for us. Okay. I definitely would like to make the one with the purple like I wanted to, and so I'm just trying to remember which size I did. Okay, it was the small. I was like, I couldn't remember. Alright, so I definitely want to do the purple pattern here. Similar concept, just with more of the purple. And then I have a few little insert pieces that I want to try to do, and we'll see how they come out, kind of thing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm trying to think here. Trying to think how I did those now, y'all. Can we go back and watch my tutorial? What I did. Just kidding. Alright, well, I don't have any little cups over here. Where are all my... Where would they be? I was like, I have lots of these. These are a little dusty. All dusty, but I'll wipe them out. They're good. Okay. Okay. We're gonna get with it. We're getting with it. Alright. Maybe. Now my UV resin. This bottle's getting sort of empty, but still lots in it, so I'm not like worried that it's gonna be running out, because it's still got plenty. Alright, so I'm gonna use the grape mica, and I'm just going to put a decent amount in here. I'm also, because when I open that up, it's less purpley for me than what I'm wanting on the side there. So I'm going to grab, this is solid purple, so I'm going to also add, probably shouldn't do a double dipper, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to add purple. Probably got way too much mica, but that's okay. I'll get this in here. We'll add a little clear in here in just a minute and help spread that around. Right, where you can do that. Kind of help make that, but I wanted it to have more of the purple, so I wanted to add some solid purple just to help the purple in the other one really just pop, essentially. Alright, so we'll just add a little bit of clear in here just to give us that. And then we'll make some white up and some of our other as well. But while we have this purpley, I'm just going to mix that clear right on into the purple that we're already added, just to kind of help distribute some of that purple into the clear for us. So and I'm getting it up in and around our hole, which we know if that fills in, it's not the end of the world, because we can definitely get it cleared out. I'm going to grab a paper towel, put a little bit of our rubbing alcohol on it, just so that I can wipe off my tool, because this is a favorite tool that I'm using. So I'm going to probably use it most of this series, although little things coming out, but okay. So liking that. For this part, I need just a little bit of the, it almost looks like salt, but it's white sand. So it's not really salt. You could use Epsom salt though, actually. I've seen people do that and it turns out really good. But I have this white sand. It's actually like white sand from the Dollar Tree. And it works out really good. So that's what we're using to give some texture and sandy look in there. Love it. I'm just going to, golly, I love that color. I'm just going to go ahead and add some of the clear in there. I'm going to also add a little more clear in my purple container over here so that I can just clean up the mica that's in there. I blew it all around, but that's okay. This clear, we're going to add a couple drops of our ocean white. Probably only really one drop because we got kind of a stringy thing going. And that's really all it's going to take. Yes, we've got some of our sand in it. I'm really not worried about that though. It's fine. I'm going to make us a line here. Oh, I probably got too much on my tool. So we're basically just trying to help create that line, and then we're going to take our heat gun. We're going to blast that with some heat in a way that makes that white move along. So I'm not going super high on it. I just want enough to kind of get this resin moving. And you gotta be careful that you don't go out of your earring mold, so that's why I came back the other direction, just to try to help not have it go too far up. It's not wanting to move very well. And I filled my molds really full, so do it in phases and waves kind of thing, giving it that wavy look. Okay, there we go. Loving it. Now I am going to, it's a pretty fine tip here, so I am just going to do a little zigzaggy swirl effect like that. It's not anything super special, but just kind of giving it a little bit more of a definition. And then I'm gonna stick that under my lamp over here on this side so that I can keep cruising with the other resin that we have. But the good news is with UV resin, as long as the light doesn't hit it, we're fine. We can do this all day long this way. It's not going to be an issue. So that's always the good news. When we're doing it this way, it allows us UV resin as long as that light's not hitting it, or as long as you're not out in the sunshine. If we were in the sunshine, that would be an issue for sure. So I'm going to put that over to the side. I am going to block it with a black foam board that I use to help block that light from this space. That way we can keep cruising with another earring on this mold, essentially, and not have to wait on that. So I am going to do a couple of them. I'm going to do that one, and I want to do these little ones. These are really cute. So we're going to do some art in them, basically filling them up. And because we are getting to the bottom of this, we're getting more bubbles. And as the sun starts to set, we lose our light in here. So we'll turn on some light. So a lighter close to your resin without burning your mold or setting your resin on fire will help those. Now here's the resin I put in this little silicone cup that still had mica in it. That basically I'm just catching the additional mica and catching it by that resin and mixing it in. It's not going to catch every little mica particle, but it's going to definitely get that used up some. And then because these are just like a bonus, we get to kind of play a little more with what we're doing. My light did the thing where it does like 6 minutes, and we don't want it to go 6 minutes. That's way too long a curing. So where we already have resin in there, the clear, basically you can drop your color in and make a design, which is kind of fun. And you're just kind of dragging that color where you want it to go. And because it's mica, it's heavier than just the clear, so it's gonna sink, but definitely give us some color there. I'm gonna try, I can't really put much more in these two. They are very, very full. Okay. Let's see here. I want to put just a line. Just an outside swirl this. I'm going to have to do some things with that because I do have a bubble that I see at the bottom of the mold, and I'm going to have to get that out of there. So as you see, I'm just putting the very tip of my brush, my silicone brush, into the mold, into the resin. And on this, I'm just, you know, going around it, essentially. Okay. So I do see some pesky bubbles. Now, you could use something else, like a toothpick or something, to reach in there and potentially pop those. Problem is when you do that, you could scratch your mold, and now you have a bigger issue because now your mold has a forever scratch that you didn't really want, you know, to have happen. So you got to be very, very careful if you're using anything other than your silicone, because silicone on silicone works, but anything else sharp does not. Now this guy has quite a bit in him, So I'm going to just move a little bit of this. Oops. Well, we just full on stepped into him, which is fine because we're not making a true swirly swirl with them. We're definitely blending, which is fine. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing here, y'all. I'm just free falling with it. And just gonna see how this comes out. Yeah, I think that's pretty. Yeah, gives a uniqueness to it. Okay, so we'll swap these out. Bring these booties back over. Put those beauties under. These are going to take a little bit to definitely cure up. One way you can tell is, so the metal part, you can click on that and you can tell if it's curing. And it's definitely curing. The good thing about these metal parts, they are rounded, so it's not like super sharp, but also be careful with those because you could damage your mold if you're like, you know, poking into it. So I don't like to use those except to just test our resin, which it definitely cured better than I thought it was going to cure. It looked a little questionable, shall we say, but I am using, I know I didn't show it on the screen, but if you watched the last series, you know that I have the Let's Resin, or not Let's Resin, I have the dual UV resin curing light from Counterculture. And so it's giving us a curing light from both the top and the bottom, which I highly recommend when you're adding dark micas and really getting these darker colors in. Because honestly speaking, if you don't have that double, you're having to flip them and it's taking your basically time away from you doing more things. I am loving these. These are absolutely going to go into my personal collection. Yeah, definitely. And I just dropped that, so I'm going to find something else to cover our light. It's fine. I don't feel like getting out of my chair and trying to get back in my chair, so we're just going to wing it. Okay. Alright, with these, you can always use your finger too, obviously. They're still a little tacky. They need just, these don't need much, but they need a smidge more in them. And I'm going to go ahead and do a clear coat on top of these other ones because they definitely could use a layer. We're trying. We're trying. Come on. I don't want to switch bottles yet. But we're going to have to soon. I have to see how many bottles I have left. I can't remember. This is my second to last, or if I have two more beyond that. Oh, that's a big old bubble. Yeah, we're gonna get you popped out of there. I'll leave you there for a minute because it is kind of fascinating, but we're gonna get you out of there. Alright, so I lost my other silicone brush, so sometimes those bubbles can be very finicky to try to come out. These little circle ones, I'm just making sure that I get a full surface on them. They're gonna need cleanup because they've definitely come up and over the mold. That's okay. I'm not worried about the cleanup part of it. I think my other silicone brush just rolled under this table. It just rolls kind of underneath sometimes. I'm like, hello? Are we there? So, got a couple little surface bubbles, nothing crazy. Bubbles can make your pieces unique in a lot of ways. Especially when working with UV resin. It's kind of can be fun to have some bubbles. Okay, I'm not going to block that because we're going to dunk these in our cold water over here. We're going to pop them out. I probably should put some little silicone finger cots on. Let's see. Just so that I don't get fingerprints as those come out of the hotness. Because I always do that. That's annoying. Okay, I do want to use this lemonade mica that I got. I haven't even transferred it into a jar, which is, you know, a whole nother thing because I really don't like them in the bags. But the order came not too long ago and I haven't had a chance to just, what is up with this finger cot? It is not wanting to go on. There we go. I haven't had a chance to do my trick and make sure I have jars and so forth. Been a whole thing, right? About as bad as these dang finger cots. Usually you just like, you know, slip your finger in and roll them down. It's no big deal. And these are giving me some fits. But okay, there we go. Yay! Yay, yay. I'll pull these ones out. They were stuck together, but not like bad stuck. Those are so cute. I love those. Okay. Let's pop these ones out. These ones, I'll probably put a dark background on them because they'll need something to make them kind of darker. Those are really pretty too. All right, so I want to use this lemonade mica, like I was saying, because it just is really pretty. And I think my daughter would really like it. I feel like these are all my dirty cups that I haven't washed and need to. Okay. So, let's, while I'm holding this upside down, I'll pull these out of here. They don't need to be in there super long. These are really cute. These little circular ones. You could have them as their own dangles or you could add them to a piece. These are really cute. I don't know which side we're going to want to go with. I think that side. But this side's really pretty too. I was like, hey, get in there. Yeah, that's really pretty. I like it. I like it a lot. Like, I mean, even that is gorgeous, you know? So pretty. Okay. Alright, Rebecca, we're getting distracted here. Okay, so I think that she would really like, I kind of feel like she would like this style the most. Of course, we ended up with a big old bubble on the front of this one, but that's fine. I think that would be her. So, let me make sure that that's on the bottom of that, and it is. Let's just do, oh no, that is not. Oh, there's a piece of water. Let's just, okay. I'm just gonna give it a little strip. We don't need a big strip. All right, let's look at this lemonade. Isn't it pretty? I'm not a huge yellow person, but I saw this color of yellow and I was like, ooh, I actually kind of like that yellow. Ooh, yep. Just made a big old puff of mica powder. I probably don't need all of that I scooped. But I do want to get it transferred to a container that I like better because I don't love having that kind of container. All right, let's, oh my goodness, this is such a pretty yellow lemon color is so pretty. Yep. So my youngest is going into middle school this year, which is just insanity. Insanity. Can't believe it. It is pretty wild. Like they grow up too fast. And I just can't even believe that we're already here, that I no longer have an elementary schooler, which is really crazy to think about. Like, so I guess I'll have to wait till my niece goes to elementary school, right? To live those years again. But I know she's excited to have been out of the going to the next stage, I think. So out of the elementary. But I do think she's a little probably more anxious than she's letting on, which is fine. She's just, you know how it is. Something new. It's gonna take some getting used to. I'm just swirling this in here just to use it up, basically, like so that I don't have much waste. I'll make a little circle portion too. And I'm gonna add some clear to these circle ones, and I'm going to add a little more clear to the these ones as well. I just am getting them situated. I'm so excited about these. All right, let's see how this is holding up. Trying to look and see where I have my one doesn't know. Might be down there. Might not be. Oh, there's one. I might have to reach for it because this is just going to take forever and it's going to drive me crazy. And I can't deal with that. Okay, let's grab another bottle. This one's open. I think I was just trying to use that one up. But you know what? When it doesn't even come out of the container, you can't use it up. Now, if you didn't want the clear to kind of thin these out, you would want to cure without doing the clear on top. I wanted to give some thinning out with it, so that's why I've added it to our current setup and not curing that level and then if you heard my daughter scream, you probably didn't because it was pretty faint, but it might have been louder because I do have these noise canceling headphones on. If you heard my daughter scream, they're playing a game. She's fine. This is my oldest that screamed. But I wanted to thin it out just a little bit to give some more definition and to be able to move the resin around. So if that's what you're going for, you definitely got to do it the way I did. If you liked where those colors were and you didn't want to be able to move the resin around, there must be like a motorcycle or something going by. Dogs are going crazy and there's a loud motor. Then if you didn't want to be able to move it around, you liked where it was, you would go ahead and cure that layer and then add the clear on top. But these look pretty good. And then a couple little pesky bubbles. Oops. I blew out my lighter. Saw those bubbles popping. Again, you just got to be careful that you don't get too close, burn your mold, or light It wasn't unfaded. You know, just minor details, y'all. These are minor things, right? Okay, we still have a little bit of purple and a little bit of white. So, we're just going to make another set of these because I love this mold right here. It's one of my faves. So I'm going to add maybe just a smidge of yellow. I don't even know if it will get much in there, but we'll clean this little bowl completely out. And then we've got some purple, and I'm just going to do the same. Now, we definitely got bubbles, and I'm creating bubbles by putting the tool in and pulling it back out because it's going to create air pockets. I realize that that's what we're doing, so we'll work on those in a minute. There really wasn't a lot there. I want to I went to my alcohol inks, and I don't know why I put that in the yellow one, but okay, that's what I did. That was sort of a silly move, but that's okay. I just went to my alcohol inks to where I knew my purples were, because hello, I have everything color coded. And I can't not have them color coded. So I knew kind of where the purples were, and I just reached in and grabbed it. So I didn't really pay attention to what purple I grabbed, but just a purple alcohol ink. So this is what I got. So semi-random, but it's purple violet, berries, gorgeous. So now that's actually really pretty, and I don't want to mess with them. I was like, I'm going to add this white that we have left over. Yes, normally that's what I would do, but I really like how those came out, and that was kind of like a happy accident. So, you know what? We're just going to pop those under the light. These need a little bit more, but these are really pretty full. So I'm not going to add any more to them. I'm just going to add a thin layer on top of these. And sometimes I'll put my resin bottle like right inside the piece and like start squeezing so that it's like I am really close, and I can make sure that I don't do a huge layer on it. Not that it would matter, but you know. All right, let's do, since we're here and we have this mold, let's do a little bit bigger of the circle. And there's a hair in there. Thank you very much. Now, this has been out a little bit, so it's getting a little tacky, which, I mean, I expect, because even though we are using UV resin, and we would say that, hey, we have more work time, but we've been working for a little bit. So these have been out, or this one especially had been out for a little bit. So it's definitely getting to where I'd be like, maybe not the best to try to keep working with, just because it's getting the light from my light here in the workspace that is very bright, and so it's becoming tacky, essentially. It's starting to cure without needing the actual UV light. And again, I'm not doing anything super special here. I'm just okay, looks cool. There's a bubble in there. These ones might have a little bit of issue curing because I did add so much of the rubbing alcohol. So we'll see how they do. I'll mix that one just a little bit more so that it matches a little bit more of that one, but okay. We'll see how they come out. That's fine. All right, it's kind of like that flip back and forth kind of situation. So these ones need a little bit more to get them filled fully up. So again, just holding my container of resin pretty right on top of it, so that I can see where I'm at. And then you can always use your silicone brush to move that around into the corners that you needed, or like up around where the hole's gonna be. This one I did a little much on the resin. I'm just gonna wipe it on my, normally I would try to put it in another earring part of the mold, but another one of these, but we're, oh, son of a gun, got a little too overzealous there to pop some bubbles, and I just plopped it right in the resin. Okay, cute. Oh, these, I don't know if it's coming out on the video, because I know sometimes the details don't always show the best. These are really pretty. Okay. Ooh, those are, look at that. Still very much tacky. Okay. So, even these ones are tacky. So I'm going to just turn this tray, or turn this other mold sideways so that I can fit this one back under the lamp. And while that's curing, we're going to do a little bit of cleanup. That way we're staying entertained, quote unquote, for me. The ADHD brain needs that. If this is such a, these get so messy. And I don't know how to not make them messy. And that's why I don't like bags, because like trying to seal it. Oh. But we'll fix it. It's fine. It's fine. Just, I don't know if you guys have that too, where you're like, I just want it fixed now. That's not really realistic. So, yeah, that's how I get sometimes. I'm like, I want it to be perfect before I go messing. So I just put a little bit of rubbing alcohol in the, rubbing alcohol. I get myself tongue-tied with rubbing alcohol and the alcohol ink. But I put a little rubbing alcohol in, and as you can see, that cleaned that right on up. I didn't even use the whole part of this paper towel, so the first wipe, I'll at least use that corner and get as much of that out, which it came out beautifully. The one that's going to be more challenging is going to be this one. If you have a little bit of rubbing alcohol that stays in your silicone cup, it's fine, because it's going to automatically dry up. It will dry on its own. Now this one's going to be stained somewhat pink because I put that alcohol ink right into the silicone cup. I try not to, but in this situation I needed it in there because I didn't want to drop the alcohol ink directly into the molds. I wanted to be able to transfer it with my brush. Look at how condensed that patch is. That might have even stained my mat there. But you know what? It's better the black one than my white one. So we'll take it as a win. Okay. Mica can be a little bit challenging, but it's all good. Alright, let's see. Oh, these are nice. These are nice. So they're still a little bendy because they just came out, but once we drop them in here, they should get less bendy. Oh yeah, these are done. These are not. let's make sure that I don't. Let's use this hand. I can go left-handed. It's a tribute to my mom there. She was left-handed. So, you know, we can do that too. Alright, we'll probably have to do a clear coat on the alcohol anyway. The rubbing alcohol, just to make sure. These are so cute. I'm wondering if these are leaking a little bit or if I touched something else that has them. Can't tell. These are really pretty though. So I hope that alcohol inks are really hard to use in UV resin because they just thin it out so much that they don't like to cure very well. I'm stuck. Somehow I'm not coordinating myself very well. They just tend to thin the resin, which then makes it not cure very well. Looky there. I wanted those out before I put these other ones in because I don't want that to... Oh yeah, we're it's not terrible. So we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna put a layer for clear on top. It's really pretty. Of course, I'm not very level because I'm on top of the other mold. That's okay. The other nice thing about doing, this one had a weird bubbly thing happen. Other cool thing about doing a layer of clear on top of your pieces, it's gonna also help give it some definition of layers, which I really like, to be honest. So it's like, just gives me a good unique definition. Those two don't really match whatsoever, but that's okay. It's all good. Okay, let me put these in my paper towel and just see. Did we transfer anything? Doesn't look like it, so that's good. We've got a couple bubbles. We have some cleanup to do, of course, on them. Not really worried about that because we can work with it. You cannot work with an uncured piece. Oh, I see where it's coming from. It's coming from this one at the top. That'll be fine. It's gonna dry up before too long anyway. Okay, let's... I don't really want to... Okay, I know what I'm going to show them on. I was like, I don't want to put them on my one board just because they might have some alcohol ink that's still going to bleed. This is just the back of a picture frame. I'm working on a project, a diamond painting thing that goes in it. So I'm going to just use it. I don't know which side I like better. Let me assess here, y'all. Yeah, I think that's the side we want. These came out so cute. Dang. Dang, dang, dang. I amaze myself sometimes. Dang, dang, dang. I kind of think this side might be the better of those, but I don't know. I was like, did that just like full on absorb it? Because I feel like there's not enough layer on that one. Let me put another layer and then we'll put that back in. These ones I might have to show off at a later date to get them cured up. Goodness gracious. They're going to take a smidge. I added too much alcohol ink into those. Alright. You know, you win some, you lose some kind of thing. On these types of projects, I don't get super nervous about, you know, wasting material. Like, I'm going to get creative and I'll save those somehow, some way. But I'm not going to stress over it right now. So look at these. These are the first ones we did. Look at all the detail in those. Look at the layering, the dimension. Stunning. Then look at these ones. Very similar in the layering. Now we'll want to put it back on these to make that pop a little more. But we'll come to that. These lemonade. That yellow mica. It is so shiny and shimmery. I mean, gracious. Yeah, you can't see much of the white, but that's... Oh, this side's a little better. Oh, this side you can see the white better. But, oh, they're just... That lemonade is just so pretty. These little guys. And then we have these purple ones. They're still a little wet from just the water, dipping into the water. And then these ones. Look at those layers and how pretty that is. It's so darn pretty. So again, we'll have to do some sort of backing to help make that pop, but I'm loving how these turned out. And my vision with these came out better than I expected, to be honest with you. I'm going to pop those in water and let's just see what happens. And we'll pull them out and see. Here, that way you can see them. But our cups are clean. Our tools are clean. So really, this was our last little thing. Oh yeah, see, these are still, oh, maybe not. Maybe it's just this one had like a funny bubble thing. Let's see if you can see it. See right here? Oh, that's where the, oh, that's where the little hole is for. So that's cool. Okay. This side's pretty cute too. Looks like little sand pieces in there and then some cute swirl. Let's see this one. Let's make sure it's not transferring. Okay, good. It's not. I really like this one. It got a really nice swirl to it. It's still a little tacky and a little cloudy because of the paper towel that I just rubbed on it. But, oh, it's cute. That's cute. Yeah. Fun. All right. Next time will be cleanup and assembly time. Finalizing these. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's my mom right there. 7 is a wonderful number that, for whatever reason, after her passing, continually popped up, and it has continued all these years later to pop up at random times, and yeah, makes me think of her. 7 has a lot of good meanings out there in a lot of different of course I'm gonna have an ADHDism where I can't think of the word, but in a lot of cultures 7 means a lot of really neat things. So yeah, I say that that's my mom just swinging on by and saying how cool she would have loved to have seen these. So it's great. All right, y'all, I'm off. I hope you guys have a good week, and I'll see you next week. We'll put these together. Bye.